How are you guys tonight? My name is Candice Anderson. I'm coming to you live from Hiram, Utah. Sorry, this is bugging me. It's crooked. Um, and tonight I am featuring some easy, well, part of it is easy. Let me clarify. The one step is easy. If you want to add the extra, it's not hard, but it will take you a tiny bit longer. So, but yes, easy to do graduation. If you're like me, I get lots of graduation cards from multiple or announcements from multiple different people, and I want to kind of customize them to their school colors and stuff. But at the same time, I want it to be easy, not getting into a lot of different ink pads and stuff like that. I will show you my stuffed up cards. My son is graduating next Wednesday. I have four boys and one girl, and so he's my youngest son. And all my boys will have graduated, and then I'll have just my daughter left in school. We've still got a ways to go on her, but crazy to think that all my boys have graduated. And let's see, out of the four, three of them have graduated from the high school I went to, which is kind of fun. One of them chose to go to a smaller high school. But anyway, so congrats to all the grads out there. This would also work for college graduates. My son graduated from college last year. Um, but yeah, so super fun. I'm excited to share this with you. So I am going to switch the camera here. Go back to here. And oh, we have to turn. There we go. All switched. And I don't know if you noticed, but I moved the camera of me up into the top corner. I was watching some of my other lives, and I noticed I tend to do less up here and more down here, and then you don't see what I'm working on. So how many of you are familiar with the VersaMark? Love this little stamp ink pad. Uh, it's actually one I used to recommend all the time when people were first getting started, because you can stamp on kind of any color and you can make it work. There's a couple things that you could do beyond, no, okay, I have it here, beyond just the stamping, and I'm going to show you some of those other things that you can do. But so we are going to start with a different card. Um, Same card, different card. I don't know how you want to put it, but same card, different colors. This one I'm actually making for my niece who is graduating on Wednesday, I believe. So her colors, I believe, were gold and white. Um, I'm throwing in some black, and her graduation gown is this kind of greenish color. So I figured I could get away with throwing this color in here as well. So I'm going to show you the background first of what we're going to do. So I want to say this is 3. Yes, 3 by 5.5. If you wanted to get more, you could do like the 2 3/4 on this one. And I am using 2 different stamp sets. So I love this one. It's called just congrats, simple congrats. And that's all there is on it. We're going to be using this one. And you can do the same technique that I'm going to show you here with this one. I did do that originally. I just liked the little bit smaller words better. So I've got this Round We Go, and it has this cute little hip hip hooray in here. And we're going to be using that hip hip hooray. And this part is so simple and easy. And again, what I love about VersaMark is you can just stamp, and what it does is it kind of just makes whatever color you're stamping on go a little bit darker. So it gives kind of a like a watermark type look. So it's not great if you're wanting big, bold colors, but for a background technique like what we're doing here, it works really perfect. And I'm just stamping in lines across. You'll notice that I'm not lining it up perfectly on the edge here, switching it out a little bit so that we get kind of a variety of the hip hip hooray going across here. Sorry, I should have maybe did this a little bit already, but doesn't take too terribly long to go across. Do you have anybody out there have people graduating that you need to celebrate today? Part of the other reason I did pick this is if you've been following along with my card a day in May, today's card challenge, I believe it is actually congratulations. Yep. So I figured this was perfect for it. So I'm going to lift this up to the camera so you can see it a little bit better. But see how easy that is to just take it from a plain old piece of cardstock to having that fun background on there. And again, I didn't use a ruler or anything, just kind of eyeballed it going across. It didn't need to be perfect. Now, this is the really fun part here. So this is a piece of our vellum cardstock. I love stamping on vellum. It's really fun, and it's cool because when you place it over your your background, you can still see through it. It's used a lot on wedding invitations, and I just realized I have it over here. So I am going to go ahead and grab my embossing buddy here and just make sure that I don't have any, what's the word I'm looking for? Any fingerprints or oil from my fingers on that vellum. And I'm going to ink this up. You'll notice I am inking it up upside down because it's kind of a bigger stamp. I'm going to stamp this congrats on here. And pull that off. Pull this out here. And we're going to grab our gold. You could definitely do it in any color, silver, whatever. But for some reason, to me, gold just screams graduation cards and announcements. So we're going to add some gold embossing powder on here. And before I heat that up, we're going to do one other thing. We're going to do that hip, hip hooray. And I just have a little piece of the green. I'm trying to think what the name of this green is. I cannot think of it off the top of my head. I have two of them, so I'm going to go ahead and do two of them. Now, again, I could leave this as just the hip hip hooray in the VersaMark. I could also use clear embossing powder if I just want to make it kind of pop instead of adding the gold. But I'm going to go ahead and add the gold on it. Oh, you're running away. And then we'll add the gold on this. So the VersaMark is sticky. So whenever you're using the VersaMark, even if you're just using it for a background, you want to make sure you give it some time to dry because it is sticky, which is why it's used for embossing, because we want the embossing powder to stick to it. But it also does mean if you're using it for other things, make sure you give it some time to dry. Garbage there. And then we're going to hurry and turn this on. I love embossing. It was one of the first things I learned that just made me go, wow. I think I can move this so you can see it, hopefully. I prefer to do it on a different surface just because I don't like to get the embossing powder all over my table I'm working on. And now you can see it starting to heat up. You can see it melting and changing. One thing to keep in mind when you are embossing on vellum, it does have a tendency to curl on you sometimes if you heat it up too much. So just be careful to make sure you heat it up enough to melt everything, but not so much that you burn the vellum or make it curl. And once your embossing heat gun is hot, it goes pretty fast. Um, I'll lift that up and show you here in a second. I'm going to hurry and do these ones. Oh, I just messed that one up. Good thing I did too. Can't seem to get a hold of it. And whenever I'm heat embossing, I like to try and, do like what I did here and get most of what I want to heat emboss. Get the embossing powder on so that it stays hot. I'm going to see if I can fix this one really quick and add a little bit more powder. I accidentally touched it. Does not want to work with me today. There we go. So once your heat embossing tool is hot, it goes a lot faster. So that's why I like to kind of get them on. Just keep in mind because it's sticky and it only stays wet for so long. You do want to get the powder on quickly, but you can kind of wait to actually heat them up and emboss them. All right. Now we have our embossed pieces done. I'm just going to move these off of here and close that. We can get back to our page or card that we were working on. So now this is the part that I said if this is all that you're doing, this front, it's really pretty quick and easy. Get that powder off of there. So one thing I did do is I just have a little template that I used to line this up here and cut it off so it's more of a little tag here. Over. Got a lot of that powder on there. Okay, let's see if we can get it to come off. All right, and I'm going to lift that up so you can see that. Congrats. Very cool. I love the gold. And I'm not quite sure what I got on the back of there. Must have had some powder on here. Oh well, that's okay. It still works. And then I am going to grab my mini glue dots. And the other tricky part with vellum is because you can see through it, it makes it a little bit harder to stick it down. But I'm going to add one in the corner here. I'm kind of rolling it up a little bit because I want it to be smaller. I'm going to add one in the corner there. And I'm just going to add one kind of back behind this gold here. That when I stick it on here, I'll show you how I'm covering those ones up here. And then I'm going to grab my glue and Just got some of the gold oil, maybe. And then I'm going to attach it on the top and bottom here. Now, because hers is gold and white, I am going to add, I have some white ones as well. So I'm just going to add a little strip of white. So because we use the VersaMark, I could do this in whatever colors I need to, switch them out. I can make a whole bunch of different cards without having to change out all of my different inks or having to clean my stamps. And I can attach this to the front. I could use dimensionals if I wanted to pop it up. And to finish that off, I'm going to just use these gold. And what are these? Metallic gems. And I'm going to put them right over those two little glue dots there. So easy, quick. You can finish it off, put some white in the inside, and this card is done if you want it to be. But we want to dress it up a little bit more. So we are going to have some fun with the inside of the card. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on the inside of the card here. So I am going to create a pop-up on the inside. And what did I do with my, let's see over here. Okay, I'll put this one down. I know I had one. I just don't know where it went. So this is your standard. I was just cutting it 8.5 by 11, cut in half. I did cut it down to 5.25 because I want it to sit on the inside. So if all you want to do is the pop-up, you can do it the bigger size, cut this down. But I want to make it so that I can put a gift card or some money or something in the card to send with it. So I am going to do it a little bit different. So I'm going to grab my scoring blade and I am going to do it at 1.25, and I'm going to score it. And then I am going to go to 5.25, and I am going to score it again. Then I'm going to fold it on this score here, and I'm going to put it on my 2 inches, and I am going to pull it down just 1 inch with my cutting blade and pull it back up, because I am going through 2 layers, so you want to make sure you press nice and hard. Then I'm going to go 3.25, which is 2 inches this way, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go down 1 inch and right back up. Then I'm going to turn it, line it up on my 1 inch, and I'm going to use my scoring blade, and I'm going to go from 2 to 3.25, and I'm going to go back and forth a couple of times, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing here, just so that I get the other side nice and scored. Okay. So then all I have to do is reverse this part here, and I have an easy pop-up. This part's going to fold up and create my pocket for my card. Now I wanted to add some embossing to this. So I'm going to show you how I actually embossed it, because I want to be able to still write on this part here. What I did is I put this in my embossing folder, and this is exposed brick. And I just went down to the center here, and throw it over here. And then I want to emboss this part as well. And so I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm just going to line it up along there. And roll it through. So now I have it embossed here and here, but not on the part that I want to write on. So to finish this off, we're going to grab a little bit of this gold again, and we're going to add some glue. Now, the biggest reason I do this, we do have the edge or the difference in the thing. So it does show, you can see that it's different, but I like to do it because it just makes it kind of obvious that there's a pocket, that it's a little bit different. Now, this is the thing that I was thinking of maybe doing. I think I am going to do that, maybe. I haven't decided on that. We're going to put it together and then decide if we're going to do that one. So now I'm going to use some of my tear and tape, and I'm just going to place it along here and along here so that I can close it, but still have the pocket that I can put. Huh, my husband just like brought some money over here. So you can see how easy you can put that, or you could put a gift card in there. So simple and easy on that. And I am going to use my bone folder and get a nice crisp edge on here. So now we're going to put it in our card. So you'll notice, because we folded this up, this is sitting down here. It doesn't go the full length. That is what this is going to be for. We're going to put this right across there. And I think, do I have another gold one? I don't. We can solve that problem pretty easy. And I'm going to put one more piece of gold across the top there. So we are going to add some glue to the bottom of this one. And I did do something, this pop-up. I think I did a quick video on it because I did something similar to this for my swap when I went to North Carolina. And then you want to make sure that this part is folded in so that we're not putting glue on it. And then we're going to put glue on this side and fold that over. Now we have quick, easy, simple pop-up. And this is the really fun part. So I've just cut a square 2x2 piece, and I'm going to use a hole punch, and hopefully I can get into the middle there. I have to go higher. Oh, I went this way. Remember how I go. Okay, and we're going to go into the center here and punch a hole. And then I have some white baker's twine, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And cut that off. Then I'm going to hold the top of it and just kind of pinch with that. Now, I did learn I kind of have to put this one in between one of my other fingers, because otherwise I don't know which one I'm trying to grab. So I'm going to go around this nice and tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then pull it back around to this, and I am going to tie it. There we go. Sorry, had to use my teeth there for a second. And then I'm just going to kind of keep that towards the back, and I can trim these off so they're kind of roughly all the same length. And I have a cute, easy little tassel. Did not get that hole very good in the center. Let's see if we can get it up in the center a little bit better. There we go. And I'm going to place that through the hole. Make sure I get all the little pieces. Maybe. course it's not working because I'm trying to do it so other people can see. Because it worked super simple and easy before. Okay, there we go. Now we have a cute little tassel and a little graduation hat. I'm going to add a piece of tape on the back just to hold that down in place so it doesn't go anywhere. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of glue on this corner here. And then I'm going to place it right here. Hold it for a second. And then when you open it, you have that fun little hat that's going to pop up. Now I want to add this to the top, and I'm going to add the gold. I'm going to add some glue here. And add some more glue. And that just finishes off that top nicely since we didn't go all the way up. On it, we can write a quick little message. I think I am going to do the hip hip hooray down here. How cute is that? Again, super simple and easy. You can slide some money or a gift card. I have a gift card somewhere, but not sure. Send a quick, easy graduation. Here's another sample. This one is in the black and gold with the red. Now this one I only have the hip hip hooray along the top, and I didn't add the little gold, but I do like that little bit extra gold. Let me show you a couple more that I did. So this one, I did the front a little bit different. I was originally going to show you guys this one and decided it was a lot more work. So that's the front. This is my son's colors. I do like having the 2025 on there. But then when you open it up, I have the pop-up as well. Here, I actually stamped the background in the orange and blue and did the congrats across on that one, which is where I got the idea for the other front. This one, obviously, I had to keep changing the colors and cleaning it. So I was like, yeah, that's a lot more complicated. Still really fun. This one is a longer card. This fits just in a standard, like, envelope that you would mail. It has a tiny hat on the front, still the same idea here. It doesn't have the pop-up, but it has the longer so you can see the full money in there. So some fun, easy ways that you can make a graduation card. You can see, let's switch cameras here again. Sorry. So you can see how easy it is to switch and do a different color scheme. Uh, but I love the VersaMark, makes it so quick and easy to make your background, uh, get multiple different colors in it. I might have to make an orange and blue one just for fun. Again, that's my high school colors. I liked these ones. I did like the 2025, but this one, you could use whatever year. It doesn't matter when they graduate. Um, put a cute little message in, fun to send. And who wouldn't love to get that in the mail from their friend or aunt and uncle or significant other person, whoever? I think it would be super fun. So thanks again for joining me tonight. We will have a new episode of Scrapped this Thursday, so hopefully you caught mine from last week. And you can always join me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. I need to add some stuff to Pinterest, but I am there. If you can't find me, let me know. You can visit my website at Stampin stampinwithcandice.com, my blog, or you can order online at candiceanderson.stampinup.net. So, yes, thanks again for joining me. And if you have any questions or need anything, feel